Excellent. This first guy coming to the stage, very good friend of mine. You've seen him on Barstool Sports. Please welcome the hilarious Nick Ellis, everybody.
Hey, keep it going for Mitch and whatever he's going through, huh? You laughed a little too hard at that, all right. Denver, I love it here, man. You know, a city where it's more socially acceptable to buy psychedelics than it is to buy whole milk. Or raw milk, for that matter, you know, as our Lord and Savior RFK would want, you know. Just feels better raw. You know what I'm saying, sir? Right? Nice. I'm from the Midwest. I don't know if that's obvious by everything about me. I grew up in a very big milk household. And I came out here and I started drinking almond milk now. You liberals got to me. I had to call my parents. I had to come out to them. I was like, guys, I'm drinking this gay milk now. My dad's like, no son of mine under this house. I was like, I'm 34. Also, I like when I said almond milk, someone over here said gross. That is the appropriate response. This is not how I wanted to start my set. Now, I took up skiing when I moved to Denver, just like probably every one of you. I think that's legally what you need to do to get a license. I don't know. But I went skiing last weekend in Steamboat, and man, I couldn't get there quick enough, right? Like, I had my skis waxed, I had my taint waxed. I was ready to go, man. I was flying down 70. Made it there in record time. You know, shaved 5 minutes off the arrival time, two inches off my bush. I dropped a pant size. I'm feeling good. But yeah, the real reason I'm here, though, is not for comedy, which I feel like some people over there would get because you haven't laughed at a single thing I've said so far. Real reason is I'm here is I want to pitch you guys a business idea. An investor already, very nice. Hello, sharks. I want to start a yoga class at a brewery and call it a bender. 2 claps, thank you so much. That's what I do it for. Just 2 people liking it, that's it. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have been to these classes, but they all go the exact same way, right? You barely touch your toes, you have 9 IPAs at 8 in the morning, and then you're a liability on the road home. And I went to one the other week, and I overheard a woman yell out, and she's like, oh my God, I'm a fitness goddess. And it's like, Becky, you had 6 mimosas and fell into a bush. Yeah, and Becky was the instructor. But yeah, when I moved here, I found out that Coloradans are obsessed with natives, and not Indian people, right? But white people. I found this little delayed reaction. Yep, that's okay. We'll get there. But yeah, I found this out when I moved here, and I told the guy that I moved from out of state, and he started getting mad at me and yelling. He's like, I'm a native. And I'm like, fucking aloha or whatever. You're a native. Wouldn't guess by looking at you, sir. What tribe are you? Do that next time. Ask them what tribe. I'm like, what are you, like Navajo or Apache? He said Boulder. But it's just so funny to me because, like, I'm from Ohio. In Ohio, it's completely different. In Ohio, if you're born there and you grow up there and you live there and you never leave there, nobody calls you a native. We just call you a loser. So I love what you guys have done with that. That's sick as hell, man. That's great. But yeah, like when I moved here, I picked up skiing, like I said, and I did the green runs, I did the blue runs, and then I was looking for the black diamonds, and so I went up to the lifty, and I was trying to sound cool, but I didn't know the lingo, so I was like, "Hey, excuse me, where are the black D's at?" He's like, "Oh, we don't get many of those up here." Yeah, he's like, typically they're white D's, you know? Yeah, typically they're white D's. Yeah, he's like, they're smaller, shriveled even. And I was like, no, they're black D's. I've heard of them, right? They're like real big, like almost intimidating to look at. You can go down on them, but you definitely want to warm up first. Yeah, after riding one all day, you can't walk right the next day. Yeah, my ex even rode like 2 or 3 in one day one time. She was real sore. Yeah, he did not show me where the black diamonds are at. He did try to fuck me though. So. Yeah, Greg, Winter Park, nice guy. So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm not gay. One person's clapping, that's homophobic. Got a standing ovation in the Springs for that one. Yeah, and they booed in Boulder appropriately. But yeah, I'm not gay, but I do go to gay bars for the compliments. Woo! Thank you so much. I'll see you at Charlie's. Yeah, I do go to gay bars for the compliments, so I think that makes me an ally, right? Well, like, I go to gay bars like I go to Goodwill. I don't tell anyone that I'm going, but if nobody's looking, I'll take something home and see if it fits. And it does. This is going really well. Nice. Sorry to break your hearts, fellas, but I did start talking to a girl last year. I did, and she's from Philadelphia. And yep. Hey, wow, you guys actually cheered civilly, you know, because every time, because whenever I say yes, I'm from Philly, you know, I'm talking to a girl from Philly, you get go Birds, and so we got a woo. That's nice. But yeah, I started talking to a girl from Philly, and originally when we met, I thought she was all like mousy and quiet, and then we watched an Eagles game together, and all of a sudden she's standing on the couch and she's screaming at the screen, you know? She's like, "Go Birds! Fuck you, Romo, you dickhead!" And I'm like, "Babe, we gotta get out of this IKEA." But yeah, I was home with her the other day, and I could hear in the other room that she was using her vibrator. And my first thought wasn't that I was turned on. Like, my first thought was actually that it reminded me of home. Because it reminded me a lot of my dad mowing the lawn. Right? Because, like, whether it's my girlfriend in her vibrator or my dad in mowing the lawn, I know I'm going to get yelled at for not helping. Yeah, we'll see if this joke goes well. I don't know. I'm gonna open up to you guys. My Twitter account got suspended the other day. I was posting pictures of my penis because you can't do that on Threads, and posting pictures of my penis, and I had recently shaved, and someone reported it as child porn. Okay, I'm never gonna do that joke again. Unrelated, but I did become single last year. Totally unrelated to that last one. And the last time I had become single was right before Biden took office. And then this time I became single right before Trump took office. And it almost feels like at this point that I'm not getting elected for a second term, you know? It's like, what the hell am I doing when I'm in office, you know? Invading people's DMs like Venezuela. Oh, too soon. Okay, my bad. But yeah, I can empathize with Joe Biden a lot, you know, because we both held our position for a similar duration. And towards the end, we were both running some pretty half-hearted re-election campaigns. You know? Like, towards the end, we were both like, yeah, I want to be here another 4 years. You know? Just saying the words. And then when either of us were pressed for plans for the future and neither one of us could string together a single coherent sentence. And then when inevitably that didn't work out, we were both like, hey, what if we brought this girl in, huh? Let's mix things up a bit. She's exciting. I was trying to have a threesome with Kamala Harris is what I was trying to say. And we both got the same response, right? We both got the same response with our re-election campaigns of, I'm going to go back to my ex, you know? I'm going to go back to my ex from 4 years ago. You'd be like, oh, okay, well, is he a nice guy? No, he's not. Okay, what are his redeeming qualities? Well, he's rich. That's pretty cool. He talks about it a lot. He's done some pretty interesting renovations on his house, you know? And my parents already love him a lot. One clap, nice. We're doing good here. Do we know this news about Donald Trump, by the way, that came out a couple months ago? You guys are probably wondering which news. That news that apparently Donald Trump sucked Bill Clinton's dick. Yeah, did we know about this? Yeah. Man, that came out like right around Thanksgiving, and there's not much that's going amazing in this world. You know, just gestures to everything. But the fact that that came out around Thanksgiving before we gathered with our Republican uncles, I think that's pretty nice, you know? And I think all uncles are Republican, you know? I think that's just how that works in the DNA. Like, I think one day you're open-minded, and then your sibling gives birth, and then the next day you wake up and you're like, I gotta get a gun. But yeah, I saw that news about Donald Trump throating Bill Clinton, and my and my first thought was like, man, how bad is Hillary at giving blowjobs? Dude, Slick Willie keeps outsourcing it to other people. It's insane. Like, what's happening there? He's like, asked Hillary, he's like, come on, Hill, for old time's sake. He's like, I can't in my pantsuit, you know? Like. And that's why she lost the 2016 election, you know? You won yet? Nice. Sound like the guy from Storage Wars. Yep. But yeah, I was thinking about, because I was thinking about the other side of the argument, right? Because inevitably there will be people arguing for Donald Trump in that scenario of making it seem like Bill was the gay one. And I was thinking about that in bed today while touching myself. And I'm like, what would that argument look like? You know? It's like, well, actually, if you think about it, the fact that Bill got a blowjob from a guy, like, he's clearly the gay one, right? Like, if you really take a step back, the fact that Donald Trump, with how heterosexual and masculine he is, was able to make another guy come, that's my president. Like I said, I'm a transplant. I moved here about 6 years ago. And when I moved here, my parents came out to visit shortly afterwards. And I thought it was because they wanted to help me move in. But it was actually because my dad wanted to smoke weed for the first time since the 70s. And what no one told them about it, including me, was that it's gotten a little bit stronger in the past 5 decades. So we finish up dinner, and my dad picks up the joint. He looks at me, and he says verbatim, "Hey, playboy, you want to smoke this shit?" You know, like a 65-year-old white guy from the suburbs talks. And I'm like, "Yes, I do, Dad." So I take a hit, and I inhale it, and I exhale it. You know, I want to set a good example for him. It'd been half a fucking century. He takes a hit. He inhales it, doesn't exhale it. Almost defiantly. I'm just watching him like, where's the smoke gonna go? So I'm like, let's investigate. So I'm like, "Hey, bud, just checking in. First off, positive affirmations, great start. Love what you're doing here. One question, what happened on the back end there with the exhale, bud?" He's like, "This is called ghosting. This is how we used to do it in the 70s. Sit back and watch. I'm gonna teach you something." The arrogance, right? Because if I take 1 week off of doing this, the next time I pick up a microphone, I'm like, I wonder how this will go. My dad took 2,600 weeks off of smoking weed, allegedly. And as soon as it hit his lips, he's like, "We are so fucking back, boys." Dude, that is so sick. So we take 2 more hits, and I realize, man, Nick, you are high as hell. Let's check in with your dad. I look at my dad, it is 1973 for him all over again. He's throwing up peace signs to my mom. He has somehow procured a bandana from somewhere that he's not wearing. He put Steve Miller Band on the radio. We're talking about how to dodge the draft for Nam. It worked, we both didn't go. And then he did the craziest thing, which is that he stopped breathing. Yeah, so I had to jump into action as best I can, as high as I am, right? I get his inhaler, I give him mouth to mouth, I call 911. Ambulance comes, picks him up, takes him away. My mom has been sitting right here the whole time. Has helped 0%. And she looks at me in my dead red eyes as she is sober as a bird and earnestly says, "I don't like driving in cities." Could you drive us to the hospital? I'm like, "Mom, I just smoked the same amount that just killed Dad." Like, what makes you think I could safely? Possibly. So I'm driving us to the hospital, right? We're going on a joyride. We get there a half hour later for the 1 mile drive through Cap Hill. Because one of us, not naming names, had to get munchies and forgot where they were going. And anyways, long story short, my dad's fine. And the trip was great, because not only did I get to spend quality time with my parents, but I got to kiss my dad. Yeah, they say marijuana is a gateway drug. A gateway for what? Affection with your son, you know? But yeah, this little PSA out there for anyone who, like, maybe you're my age and maybe your parents want to dip their toes back into the devil's lettuce or try it for the first time even. Guys, talk to your parents about the dangers of marijuana. Sit them down and let them know that there's an open line of communication, you know? And they can ask you questions and you're not going to get mad, right? And let them know that just because all the other parents are doing it doesn't mean they need to do it, you know? If all the other parents jumped off a bridge, would they smoke a joint? I don't know how the phrase goes, "I'm high right now." And for God's sakes, tell them to exhale the smoke, huh? All right, where did I lose you on the last 8 sentences of my set? Do we want our parents to ghost our hits? I don't know. Well, you guys have been an absolute delight. I've been Nick Ellis. Enjoy your headliner.
Hey, keep it going for Nick Ellis, huh?